All right, it's time for some Tequila Transactions, episode 44. We're here with the one, the only, Jose Mendoza. We're gonna get it cracking. And first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for joining us, for just tuning in, supporting us. It's been a journey. 44 episodes in, have interviewed some amazing individuals in the real estate industry and surrounding the real estate industry. So ultimately, we just want to be able to highlight these amazing individuals, give them a platform to talk, and we're going to talk some tequila, we're going to talk some real estate, and we'll see where the conversation takes us. But I'm going to give the mic over to Jose, let him introduce himself, and then we'll dive into some tequila, if that's cool with you, bro.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it.
So what's up, you guys? My name's Jose Mendoza. I grew up here in Antioch. Originally spent my entire life out there, so I'm really familiar with the region. I actually got into real estate because it's a funny story. Back in the day, I used to work at a Verizon over off Clayton Road in Treat in Concord, and I had a client that he'd constantly come in. He was every day. If he had phones with his problems with his phones, he'd come in. Whatever it was, he was there. And then he eventually told me, hey, I really like the way you conduct yourself. I like the way you handle business. You talk to clients. Why don't you join my real estate team? At the time, I was winning a lot of money at the Verizon store. We were managing the store. I was helping my friend manage it. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm happy where I'm at. But I don't think I'm gonna make the switch. But eventually, it just kind of sat on me like, all right, let's go ahead and entertain that. Let's go ahead and get my real estate license. And then from there, I got my real estate license 2 years later after leaving that Verizon. And now I'm here.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. We'll touch on that story in a little bit too. I'm gonna pick your brain on a little bit on the journey and
please, I'm open.
Yeah, right. And why real estate too. And then obviously, we got to know each other through real estate too, which is crazy. And I honestly got to see your journey, which is awesome. And you've been putting out a lot of amazing content. So I'm really happy to have you here. Just really honored to share some tequila with you, bro. So,
yeah, no, thank you for having me.
So we got a couple ones here. I'm gonna let you introduce your bottle, and then I'll talk a little bit about it, and then I think we dive right into it, do a little taste test, and then I'll tell you a little bit about this one. This one has a little nice special story. A lot of my listeners have seen this bottle many, many times, and a lot of people that know me know that I bring this bottle around many, many times, and my clients also know this bottle very well as well. And it's always kind of been the life of the party. So we'll definitely give you a little bit of background on that one too, bro, because it has a cool story to it too. So
nice. Yeah, I had brought this Lote Maestro, which means a master batch in Spanish. Originally, you guys, I'll be straight up honest, I'm not the biggest tequila connoisseur out there.
Okay.
So I figured just go ahead, grab something different today. See what it tastes like.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be really sweet. It was aged in French oak, from what I was told.
Okay.
And it's supposed to give you hints of a dry aged fruit.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I'm hoping it's not too sweet, because I myself, when I do drink, I'm not really too much of a dessert tequila guy or dessert guy.
Got you.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Let's try it.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Let's see what it tastes like. I'll let you do the honors, brother.
Cool. Let's crack this thing open.
Yeah. I'll get this one ready too, bro. Cause
yeah, I thought it was pretty sweet because the actual top holds a shot on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty different.
Right on.
And it honestly smells pretty good. Already smelling it. Yeah, supposedly that top shot in here is the last. It's supposed to be like the
little icing on the cake at the end, or
exactly when you run out, it's that one. Tell me when, man. I don't want to overdo you.
That's cool. That's perfect. Get a little taste
More.
Right. That's cool. That's perfect. Thank you. Oh yeah, it does got a little bit of that sweetness to it. It smells like some juice,
right?
Oh man.
You can smell it straight out.
Yeah, it does have some really like fruity notes to it, and then that color is ridiculous, man. It looks like some honey, dude. It's really, really nice color, nice brown color. Well, cheers, brother.
Yeah, cheers, man. Hopefully
Salud.
It's good. Oh, that's smooth.
That's very smooth.
That's smooth.
Super smooth. Kind of caramely, bro. It has kind of has like a little caramel taste.
It does have that caramel taste, but it's not overwhelming. Like, it doesn't taste really syrupy, and that's what I was scared of. I was scared of it being overwhelming, overwhelmingly syrupy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little on the sweeter end for sure, but I enjoy it. I was literally about to pop open my sparkling water here. I don't need it.
You need it, yeah.
No, it's super smooth.
Really smooth. Doesn't have that harsh burn on the way down. Honestly, I might start entertaining this bottle a little more often.
Wow. Okay, Jose coming through with a delicious bottle.
Lote Maestro.
Lote Maestro, you guys got to check this one out.
Didn't fail us.
Añejo, 100% de agave. Cool looking bottle, super cool looking bottle. Yeah, this is a nice little statement piece, bro.
To be completely honest, that bottle would originally caught my attention. I saw it at the top, and I was like, wow, that's different. Then I started
Very different.
kind of researching a little bit more about the bottle, and supposedly that's supposed to be the last shot when everything else is gone.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, a lot of, who actually, back in the day, was doing that too, was like 1800. Remember when 1800 had the little shot on the top?
I didn't even know they did it.
And then I think it was Pitbull, or I don't know who was the one who kind of launched their whole campaign. It was kind of cool. But there's this actually reminds me of another tequila company that produces a lot of tequila in Mexico, in Los Altos. And they kind of have the same concept. They have the little shot at the top, and it has a bottle that's kind of twisted. Have you seen that one before?
Adictivo, yeah.
Adictivo.
That's the one.
And Adictivo, I tried it in tequila like 2 years ago. There's a really cool castillo. There's a castle like right before you get to the main city of Tequila. There's a castle.
Okay.
It's the owners of it are calling it the Disneyland de los borrachos, pretty much. So it's gonna be like Disneyland for the drunks, right? Yeah. So they literally built out this really cool castle, and it's gotten hella famous like on TikTok and stuff because it has a clear bridge. It allows you to walk across from one part of the castle to the other part of the castle, like on the second level. So like people walk across this clear bridge. I mean, it's a little trippy. Like you're walking on straight glass, but you get some really cool photos because it overlooks the agave fields. It's hella clean. But if you ever have a chance to go out there, if you ever near Tequila, I highly recommend you go to the castle. It's gone famous now, so it's a little bit more expensive. Back in the day, it was like literally like $25 to go. Oh, wow. And they would literally let you taste for free. They would give you a cantadito like during the break, and you're leaving happy, bro. You're going happy. You're leaving happy.
Sounds like a good time.
So it's a great time. They take you underneath a castle where they have a lot of their barrels stored, because a lot of people don't know Mexico's weather is so hot and humid that if they don't store those barrels underground, where it's a lot cooler, that they lose a lot of the product in the barrel, because the barrel sucks up a certain percentage, and the heat also will evaporate the liquor. So a lot of the times they're saying that they're losing anywhere between 20 to 30% sometimes of volume. So they're losing a lot of tequila, but obviously it's a higher price point once it becomes an añejo. Yeah. Dude, that's a really good tequila, bro.
Yeah.
Like it like even the aftertaste,
it honestly
tastes really good.
$60, it's not bad at all.
That's very good.
It's not bad at all.
That's a really solid.
I was a little bit nervous, because I was doing research and everyone was like a little too sweet for my palate, and that's all I kept getting on all the videos I was watching. And I was like, okay, maybe this wasn't the bottle, but it didn't let me down.
Everybody's different, man. It's like wine, bro. Like some people are gonna lean towards like the sweeter stuff, like the Pinot Grigios and the Rieslings and all those white wines that are super fruitful and super sweet, right? And then you got the people who like the dark red, stuff like that. And then everybody's different. Some people like more joven tequilas that are very prominent and like a very like overwhelming tequila taste, right?
Oh, I can't do that, yeah.
But some people love that shit, so it's all different.
Let me ask you this, man. You mentioned that Adictivo. What did you think? Because honestly, it was between those two bottles. Which one do you think?
I like this one better.
Yeah? Why?
Adictivo's too sweet.
Oh, okay.
Adictivo's a lot sweeter than this.
Oh, yeah?
It lingers, there's all more sweetness to it. It's really, really good. I have one at the house. Like I brought one over, and I have one at my house in Mexico too, but it's good when like you're mixing it. Okay. This is a little tastes a lot better like straight.
Okay.
Yeah, like Adictivo by itself it's way more syrupy. Okay. Like what you wanted to avoid, you avoided. So good job, bro.
Okay.
That one's really good for sure. No, and then it's, how do I tell you, tequila is just as diverse as the people are, bro. Like everyone has different tastes, you know what I mean? Like you got people who like whiskeys and like more scotches and like darker stuff. They're gonna go for an añejo because it has that whiskey barrel taste. Like it's been aged in the same oak sometimes as some of the whiskey has, right?
Yeah.
So people that tend to like lean more towards añejos are people who like that oakiness, that flavor. And then sometimes people just go straight for like the young, joven, the blancos that really want that in your mouth tequila taste,
overwhelming.
And then you got some people that be hating on cristalinos, and cristalinos is a whole different story. I've been getting a lot of videos lately in my DMs. People have been saying, hey man, like, cause I like cristalinos, but people hate on cristalinos because
I like cristalinos too. Like,
here's the thing. People hate on it. Like people who are real tequila connoisseurs, like people who really are into tequila, they want a product that's, additive free, that really is more traditional to the times of like, the early 1900s, late, like mid 1900s when tequila was really made with a lot of love and a lot of care, and it wasn't made to mass produce. Now tequila is the number one imported liquor in the United States, and vodka has over a decade has had that pretty much that number one spot. Like they've always been the number one imported alcohol, and vodka has been hard to dethrone. Now tequila has gotten so popular with celebrities like George Clooney starting his tequila company and then selling it for over $2 billion to a Chinese investor with Casamigos. And then you got people like E40 making E40. Yeah. You got people like Kevin Hart making Don Camarino. You got Terramana by The Rock.
Didn't A$AP Rocky just make one too?
A$AP Rocky.
People swear by it. It's really good.
Like, yes, like you can have good celebrity tequila, but it's gotten that much commercialized. Now they're trying to feed the masses, right? Now you're trying to produce something quickly that shouldn't be produced quickly. People sometimes don't understand the concept that from the moment you plant an agave, a blue agave, it's taking about 8 years to mature for it to be made into tequila. So you're talking about you're waiting 8 years and then you're only getting a few bottles out of that agave if you're doing it right. So it's like you're trying to rush the process, and that's now what we're seeing is everything getting more commercialized, everything, they're trying to speed up the process. And so you're also seeing people, they're now starting to plant agave in the Central Valley here in California. It's like, it can't be called tequila because Jalisco has the naming rights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have the trademark on the name tequila, and it has to be harvested in the region of Jalisco.
Oh, wow.
And some surrounding areas, parts of Michoacan, and some parts of like Nayarit and some areas that surround Jalisco can still grow blue agave and harvest it and create tequila. Areas outside of that, like you're talking about the more traditional way of making liquor from cactus is mezcal, and that was originally done by the indigenous people, more specifically the Mayan people, stuff like that, more southern Mexico, closer to Guatemala and all that. So like a lot of that's more the indigenous way of creating that alcohol was either doing something called a pulque, which is also like using the leche of the agave, and that stuff gets you turned.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of different flavors too. So like you could dabble in that stuff and try different things too. And now tequila is just getting so much, like there's so much hype that everything's just getting, they want to move it fast. They want to try to create it faster. They want to like expand the growth. And now even like near the Texas Juarez border, they're growing agave for mezcal.
Oh, wow.
So there's not enough land essentially in Mexico. There's not enough time to be able to feed everyone tequila. So that's why sometimes you're seeing a shortage of tequila. Sometimes that's why you're seeing the prices go up. There's a lot of demand for it. But Cristalinos got famous a few years ago. Cristalinos was just another way to enjoy tequila. And so people don't like it and put a bad name on it and have a bad kind of like connotation on it, because it's essentially taking this when it's perfectly fine and then using a carbon filter to distill it one more time and remove all the color and imperfections.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you'll be left with the clear tequila, which is smoother and a lot more enjoyable, but people hate on that. They're like, you took all that time, you grew the fucking plant for 8 years, you then turned it into tequila, put it in a barrel for a few months, and then now you're gonna remove all of what you did to create this.
I can see both sides of
Exactly. Like you can't be a tequila connoisseur and hate on Cristalinos. I think it's counterproductive, because you have to be able to look at it as they all have their own classifications. People have their own palates. Like it's not for everybody, right? Like just like we're talking about, like me and you probably gonna gravitate towards this because I'm much more of an añejo guy myself. I'm not gonna go get a blanco unless maybe I'm mixing it in like some juice or something, right? Or having a margarita. I'm not gonna waste my añejo tequila that I could sip on with a margarita.
I see. Yeah.
So it's like you can't. It's hard because it's like you want to respect their opinion, but you can't be like, oh, this should have never been invented. This shouldn't have been created, or like hating on it. Like, yeah, go ahead and hate on it, but it's still very enjoyable.
I agree 100%.
It's very enjoyable.
To be completely honest, and it's pretty basic, but still, the 1800 Cristalino.
That's my favorite, bro.
That's one that I've honestly sip on it. It's not too harsh. It's not overwhelming. I'm not gonna feel like an ugly buzz or drunk. It just feels good to me. I like it, and then it's inexpensive, so it's like, all right, why not?
Exactly. And even when you bring it from Mexico, it's even better, just because it's, to be honest, like they add a lot of alcohol once it gets imported into the U.S. So it changes the taste a little bit. But I will say that everyone has their own opinion. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes, and the good thing and the beauty about tequila is that there's a little something for everybody. So you can't hate on it, man. I'm not like that. Like, I don't hate on it. I'll try it. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna tell you to go buy it, but I'm never gonna tell you shouldn't have been invented or that's not a good thing or whatever. I mean, it's like wine, bro. That's what's everybody. You got to look at tequila like you look at wine. There's so much different types of wine. There's different ways to make it. You just have to appreciate it for what it is. And if you're not a fan of it, you're not a fan of it. Just drink what you like to drink, and that's what it is. And if you don't like it, you can always hand it to me, bro. I'll drink it. I'm not a hater. Yeah. This is different.
So tell me about this.
And so it's not as sweet, but it is a little sweet.
Okay.
So this one's an extra añejo. So this has been aged for at least 18 months in a barrel. And the beauty behind it is it just makes for a much more enjoyable, smoother tequila. It's a little bit more syrupy, but it's extremely smooth. It has a great flavor. And so this is called Reserva de la Torre. It's from La Familia de la Torre. They're from Tepatitlan, Jalisco, from the region of Tepatitlan, Jalisco, right where my family's from. So the crazy thing about this tequila is that we actually met them during the fiestas one time. They're a family of charros. One of my cousins, her father's family on his side, I'm related to her mother. They're big into making cajeta. Cajeta is like a sweet caramel made of milk in Mexico. So they're big cajeta people. Their family members started dabbling in tequila. And so we were just out of some fiestas one time, and we were just having a good time, and we started chopping up with these gentlemen that are charros. They're all in their charros outfit, on their horses. We started chopping it up. And we were telling them how much we love tequila and how much we love, because obviously they could tell real quick that we're not from there. Like, our Spanish is good, it ain't the greatest,
but we have our own accent.
Exactly.
I call it the Chicano accent.
Exactly, exactly. So they're like, "Donde son ustedes?" Like, asking where y'all from, and start telling them, and we're telling them how much we love coming to Mexico, how much we love tequila. Our parents love tequila, and we've always been really, really fans of tequila. And so he's like, "Oh, you guys like tequila? We make tequila." I was like, "Oh shit." This is going well, right? So they actually invited us to go to their ranch to try the tequila out. And the crazy thing about it all is the first time I tried this was just their añejo.
Okay.
It's in a clear bottle, and they're like, "Oh, you guys got to try this, right?" And so we tried it, and we're like, "This is fucking amazing." Like, not even to just be disrespectful to them. Obviously I wanted
show appreciation.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was fucking amazing. And I was like, this is really good stuff, right? And it was cheap. Like, I'm talking about, like, a box of 12 was like $100, dude.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn.
So I was just like, I can't pass up on this deal. Like, this is solid, right? Like, even if it was trash for less than $10 a bottle, like, somebody was gonna get someone.
I was gonna say, might as well grab it. Yeah.
Get someone drunk, and you can just have it, like, to, like, at a party, just whoever wants to drink can drink it, right? But it was so damn good, and so we actually became good friends with them. And then they come out and say, "Well, you think this stuff is good? We have an extra añejo right now that's in the barrel." And I'm like, "You lying?" So I honestly I thought they were joking, but then this bottle came out, and he's like, "We really don't sell to anybody. It's kind of a friends and family kind of thing." So to be honest with you, we were super, super surprised on how good it was. And we were like, cool, we just wanted to keep that relationship open in case, we ever needed to buy some more or just whatever, right? So then they asked us if we wanted to try it. And then the first time they bottled it, I think was like 2016 or 17. I was just like, no, there's no way it could get better. Like, it was already good.
It was already perfect.
It was already good. How can it get better? Until I tried this. So this one is special because it's a small mom and pop family. They're not super well known. It's not all over the place. You can only find this in the region of, near Guadalajara, closer to like Tepatitlan, Los Altos de Jalisco. But a lot of times I tell people, like, if there's no seal, there's no deal. This one has no seal. They don't pay taxes on this. They pay taxes on their other bottles because they're a little bit less, they're more inexpensive, and they produce a lot of it. This they don't produce too much of it. This is more like, I'm gonna hand one to, like, my uncle. I'm gonna give one to my aunt.
I see.
Like, they're not gonna sell this to the whole world, right? And so a lot of the times they'll have a sticker on here that has, like, a little Mexican sticker on here that pretty much tells you that they pay the taxes to be able to sell it in the stores. So this is a little bit of me smuggling alcohol. So don't tell nobody, but I kind of smuggle this in here.
Well worth the occasion.
And very similar color. Got that really rich brown.
Oh yeah, I can smell it.
Super caramely.
It smells caramely, syrup, like sweet. Sounds like syrup, but yeah, sweet.
It has that more like a syrupy smell, right? But extremely delicious. And I always have this bottle around. It's not extremely expensive, but I just really enjoy drinking it. I don't ever get a hangover. It's really well made. You're not gonna wake up and be pissed off that you got a hangover because there's really no additives in it. It's really small batch, mom and pop. And
if I can ask, man, how long have these guys been in the tequila business? Do you know, roughly?
we met them in 2009, brother. So
The overall family.
So we're talking about like 20 plus years now.
Oh, okay.
20 plus years they've been making and selling it.
Nice.
So, and they changed the bottle. It never used to be like this. They never used to have their little crest on here. It used to be super basic. It was just a black bottle with a little sticker on the front. And see, they don't even add nothing to it. They leave everything blank because they're really not putting this out on the shelf. This is more so just to label the bottle to be able to give out to family and friends. But
oh man, well thank you.
super, super delicious. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, with that said, man.
Directly from Mexico, bro. Salud.
Honestly, I was expecting it to be way more sweet and syrupy based on the smell.
Right.
Man, that is smooth and it's
different, huh?
It's not overwhelming. I like it.
It's different.
I like it.
Yeah, like honestly, you like exactly. You get that whiff, and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be like overwhelmingly smooth,
But no,
overwhelmingly sweet because of that. It straight hits you in the face of like that caramel kind of sugary.
Yep.
But it's like
No, not at all. It
it's
doesn't
super
overpower.
good, bro. For under $30 in Mexico.
Oh, that's a, oh yeah, that's a win.
Dude.
That's a win.
So that's why it's like Mexico's crazy because especially in the region of Jalisco, like we're just so spoiled because we have everything.
Yeah.
A lot of the times now we're seeing, well, the crazy thing is now that tequila is so popular here, everything gets shipped here first. Everything gets shipped here first. You see shit in Costco in Mexico sometimes before you see it in the stores because they try to push it out to the major markets first. They're trying to get all their product out.
I see.
And they're going to make more money here than they're going to make there. So you can still find it. It's just you have so much variety in Mexico. People are not going to go gravitate towards like, oh, I'm going to go get a Don Julio. A lot of times they do, but like there's so much different variety. Like there's so much different variety, and then
Something new coming up.
and then to be honest, there's just so much good tequila coming out.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep up because if you're not really into it and like researching and like there's always a new bottle coming up. There's always something new. There's something different. But this is something that I like that's a little unique and different, and you can't find it everywhere. So it's a little, obviously it's not like it's not your 1800 or anything like that. This is just more of a kind of like under the table kind of tequila where it's just kind of shared amongst family and friends.
And honestly, it's a great one because going back into stamp bottles a bit, we're going to talk about Centenario.
Yes.
Centenario here in the States, oh my God, those bottles are harsh and I have some of the worst memories of those bottles.
Right. But a few years ago, it was completely different.
Exactly, yeah.
Completely different. It's crazy too. Like you see that all the time. Like they get famous and they fall off, bro.
Yeah.
They reel people in. They get them used to like the taste, and then like boom, they change the recipe, or boom, they start getting cheap with it. Like they start like
mass producing it,
mass producing it, cutting corners, and then people are like, dude, this doesn't taste the same, it ain't the same, and that's how they lose the fame.
Yeah.
Once that hits. So
yeah, because I drank recently last year in 2022. We're in January 2023, but we went camping. Got a Centenario bottle. It was just the regular one. It was a stamp, nothing special. One of the sloppiest feeling drunks I've had recently. But I went to a family party and my cousins had a stamped one, and night and day. Night and day. It's really smooth. Doesn't give you that nasty, sloppy, drunk feeling.
Yep.
It's just a better quality alcohol overall.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's the same brand, but that stamp does it all.
As you get older, better quality alcohol is where you got to go. You got to spend the money because our bodies ain't the same anymore, man. You can't recoup the same anymore. So to be honest, I'd rather spend the money on something that's gonna be a lot better than I'm not gonna wake up feeling like a bum the next day. I want to go back to work and have the same energy, and like I want to have a good time too, but I also don't want to have jeopardize my next day. We got stuff to do, bro. We're realtors. We got moves to make.
100%.
So we can't. I'm not gonna go and cheap it out on a cheap bottle, and then the next day like, oh man, I can't even get out of bed. Kind of,
Exactly. Wake up with that hangover. Yeah, no, I get you 100%.
It's not for me one bit. One of the homies, I don't know if you know Victor Castro with MVP Real.
Yeah.
His family makes cascahuín, and so cascahuín is on fire right now. Cascawin is a very well-made small batch tequila that they're it's very good product. They make it with a lot of heart. Like, you know, good tequila is made when has that good taste. It doesn't fuck you up the next day. And it's just super enjoyable. And so he had told me a while back about it, and it didn't have the fame that it has now. Like, it's gotten extremely famous.
And I'm so sorry to ask, what was the name of this again?
It's called Cascawin.
Cascawin, okay.
So Cascawin is his family's tequila, and it's fucking amazing, bro.
Oh, wow.
It's fucking amazing. It's one of those tequilas that just starting to catch fire. It's like, have you heard Fortaleza?
No, I haven't, no.
Fortaleza, right now, like, they were a no-namer, dude. Like, a no-namer. Like, decent looking bottle. It's cool. The reason they stand out a little bit, their little top of the bottle is an agave. It's a little like agave, the heart of the agave.
Honestly, with that said, I think I've seen the bottle around. Yeah, with that.
It's gone crazy famous, bro. Even in Mexico, dude, they only got like 1 or 2 bottles on the shelf, and they're like $150 each.
Oh damn.
In Mexico, bro.
Oh damn, yeah.
So back in the day, you can find those bottles for like $30, $40, $50 at most, and it's good stuff, bro. Very good stuff, but it's I like to call it like the tequila artesanal. It's like very like cultured. They're not trying to fuck you up and put additives. It's all about the tequila, the tradition. Yeah. It's all about just the pride of the product. And they want to put out a good product because they believe in it, and they want people to try it. But then what I always hope and cross my fingers is that they don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because you have these companies that we're talking about, like Centenario Forever was hella good. Tastes like gasoline now.
Yeah, no.
And then like
can't do it.
Years ago when I was a kid, all my uncles and all the OGs were drinking Cazadores.
Cazadores has another one.
Cazadores is trash, bro.
Yeah, I can't drink that nowadays.
So that's gasoline now.
But back in the day, like you said, all my uncles and cousins, that was the go-to bottle.
That was the go-to bottle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I always hope that they just don't fuck it up, man, because there's always some good stuff. I'm like, just keep it consistent, don't fuck it up. But then they get famous, they start to cut corners, and you're like, or they sell. Like when, for years growing up, Patron was the shit.
Patron, yeah.
And then they sold, and then out the window.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think it was Bacardi, I forgot who bought it, and then they just fucked it up.
Didn't Don Julio sell as well? And back in the day, everyone was swearing by Don Julio. And now, don't get me wrong, it's not horrible. They have the 70 bottles. They have, you know, they're good, but it's not the same.
It ain't the same.
It ain't the same.
All right, brother. So the most pressing question, right? Yeah. Why real estate? And I know that you touched on it a little bit. Obviously, someone tried to recruit you into the game. Mm-hmm. But did you kind of look into it first? Were you hesitant? Like, did you just dive in? Because everyone's story is different. For me, when I was a kid, like, my family eats, breathes, and sleeps real estate. Like, my family are property owners. You know, a lot of my cousins, a lot of people around me are all property owners. They all own real estate together. My dad got his start, you know, owning a 4-unit building with his uncles. And so, like, when I was, like, getting picked up from school, I wasn't going home. I was going to the apartment buildings and helping them change toilets and shit. And I thought my dad was a maintenance person. And so, like, as I got older, my responsibilities grew, but I grew up super humble because my parents never made me feel like we had money, always made me work for everything, and like humbled the shit out of me because they're like, you're coming home from school, you're going to work. Yep. And so they would take me to like our apartment buildings that they were owners of, and I'd have to sweep the stairs, I had to sweep carports, I had to clean fucking the laundry room, like I did everything, bro, maintain the property, bro. So they instilled a lot of that humbleness in me and that work ethic in me, but it wasn't until like I was in my teens where like someone was like, oh yeah, something Don Ricardo, and my dad's also named Ricardo, and I was like, Don Ricardo, why you calling my dad's a maintenance dude, why you calling him Don Ricardo? And they're like, nah, what are you talking about? Your dad is the owner of this building. My parents told me that your dad's the owner. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like my parents are like, and that's my naiveness. Like my parents are Mexican, bro. We don't have money like that. We can't own this building. So then like, come to find out my parents are part owners of buildings, and little by little, like I went from like doing the maintenance work and stuff like that and maintaining the property to like talking to lenders and talking to the officials at the city and doing different things, you know, more so for like the property and like, you know, doing a lot more like conversing with professionals, and my dad's first language is Spanish, and my mom you know, she's only a high school grad, she didn't have no college, and trying to navigate the waters of being property owner. So like a lot of that responsibility fell on me growing up. And since I'm the oldest, like my little brother and sister couldn't give a shit or care less about what we were doing. Like they were too busy having their childhood. For me as the oldest, like I really got handed a lot of responsibilities. And so all throughout my life, my dad's like, "Oh, you gotta be in real estate. You gotta be in real estate." I'm like, "Man, I ain't trying to be a realtor, man. Like, realtors are shady, bro. They don't give a fuck about people. Like,
It's a dog world, yeah.
it's a dog world." And like growing up, like my parents' money was as green as anybody else's, but they didn't treat us that way. And like for me, my motivation has always been to treat people the way they should be treated and to give people the opportunity they deserve. Because a Latino's money or an African American or an Asian or anybody else,
Any ethnicity.
their money is just as green here as anybody else.
Yeah, it's one playground at the end of the day.
Exactly. So that's kind of like my background and my motivation. So I mean, I would love to hear yours, bro, because I know we've crossed paths. And you know, like I touched on earlier, bro, just seeing you just like start off to just jump on doing your own thing and just like really take over and start doing a lot of content and just really trying to grow your business, which, you know, kudos to you, bro. That's awesome, man. Really proud of you, bro. You've done a lot of work.
Thank you.
And it's only the beginning for you, bro. So
And that's what I have to keep telling myself, because going back to what you originally asked me, was I scared? Hell yeah, I was scared. You know, I was working for the union. I was a plumber. So I was making really good money. There was still a lot of opportunity. I was cashing onto the trade quickly. And then, like you said, growing up Mexican, you know, where, and it's not all Mexicans, you know, but for the most part, at least in my family, it was installed into me that hard work is what pays. And that's the way it'll always be.
right.
Not to say that they were unmotivating me to not be a realtor or anything like that, but you know, that was just more or less the perception.
Correct.
That hard work, blue collar jobs, it's stable, it's steady, it'll always be there, it pays. So hell yeah, I was scared, you know, and then eventually, I would be completely honest, I was on the job site. I had just got into it with one of the guys on the job site, 6 a.m. He wanted me to unload some 6-foot pipe, I believe it's called Caltrans, I don't remember anymore, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
But they came to unload pipe, and I didn't have the pipe already where we were gonna be working. It's 6 a.m, you know? We're just getting here. If anything, we should be at the box. It's starting at 6:30. But I got into it with the guy, you know, end of the day, I called my boy Brandon. I was like, man, I love plumbing, bro. I don't mind it at all. It's a vibe, and it's a certain humbleness that comes with it. As far as the lifestyle, and I'm making good money. I could take care of my own. But I think it's time for a change, man. You know, I really miss when I was working. Chris was the manager at that Verizon at the time. That's his brother. I really miss working with Chris and how Chris trained me to talk to people. Because the first time he put me to talk to somebody, man, if I was the biggest goober out there, I was out there fumbling my words. I was stuttering. I was just nervous as hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, I honestly really missed that. And then Brandon was like, dude, pull the trigger, quit the job. You're already about to go ahead and you already scheduled your real estate license. Just quit it, man. You have some money saved up. Go full force. That's exactly what I did. And to be honest, to this day, yes, I scare myself. But to be even realer, how me and Moises were talking about earlier, is that fear is what drives you at the end of the day. It's what pushes you to do.
It has to. Yeah, because if you let it, if you just let it just sit there, you're gonna be stagnant.
Exactly.
You're gonna be stagnant. You're not gonna move anywhere. You gotta let that nervousness and that unknown of what's to come next just really fuel you to like keep pushing through. Because I think that's the most exciting part. Like, what's next?
It gives life more flavor.
It does for sure.
So yeah, I was scared, man, to just answer that initial question. Do I regret it? Hell no, I don't. You know, after meeting all the people that I've met, you know, we met through real estate.
Exactly.
My clients that I have helped, watching them progress throughout life, starting families, fixing up the houses I sold to them. I just sold the house out in Oakland. He made $100,000 in equity, $50K credit on top of that. So he came in with really minimal down. It has its own, sweetness to it.
Oh, for sure.
So.
And I think it's those stories that you touched on that really kind of like reminds us why.
It makes it worthwhile.
Exactly.
It makes it.
And when you're able to help somebody achieve a goal, or you're able to like, you know, see somebody who, you know, obviously, you know, it's a scary thing to buy your first home, and you're helping clients who really don't know their one way around a contract and don't know what they're doing, and just be able to help them, and then they trust you. And then seeing how they take that home and turn that house, I always say they take the house and turn it into their home.
Yeah, exactly.
And then create memories there and have
their storyline starts there. Yeah.
And then it's interesting because then you go back to visit them, or like they invite you over, and it's like it's the centerpiece of their family, and it really kind of like just really cements, you know, their journey as a family.
Exactly. And just like you said, their journey, you know, as a realtor, I don't want to take credit for any of that. Them purchasing a house was completely on them.
Yeah.
The steps you need to take to be able to buy a house.
Right.
It's not the easiest thing, or everybody would own real estate.
Correct.
So kudos to anyone and everyone who's bought a house or is going to buy a house and is taking those steps.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like you said, that's what adds that flavor to it. For me at least, you know, it really does bring me joy.
Yeah, man, I speak, like, I echo exactly what you say. For me, if it wasn't for my clients, like, if I didn't have, like, and then I was told this a long time ago too, like, one of my cousins actually right out of high school became a realtor.
Nice.
And did very, very well because he had the mouthpiece, he's educated, he's very confident. And I was able to learn from him. I was able to learn from my associate and partner, Josh, that I still work with to this day. And, you know, also my buddy Michael and a lot of people in my office that when I first started. But my dad was really the one that really, like, you know, taught me, like, your word is your bond. You know, you do right by people, they'll do right by you. And my dad's the biggest negotiator on the planet. So, like, I learned a lot of negotiation from him. He doesn't like to take no for an answer. So for me, it's like,
He's really driven.
he's really driven. So, like, for me, it's like, if I could like take a little piece from him and apply it to my business and really just, like, you know, help my clients, you know, to all my capacity, to all what I could do. Like I try to give 110% every time. Like, I tell my clients all the time, like, I'm going to do everything I can. You know what I mean? I don't like to take no for an answer, but I'm going to ask for you. I'm going to do what's necessary to try to make sure that we get you this house, or to try to get you that extra credit, or, you know, if you're selling a house, to try to get the most we can for you and try to negotiate the best I can.
And I could already feel, based off what you're telling me, you take on every single emotion that your buyer is going through.
Oh, for sure, bro.
And that's
sure, bro.
That's the way 100% that I treat it as well. So when I'm negotiating, I'm acting, if it's me or my mom, my sister, or someone I truly have a deep connection with is buying the property. That it doesn't matter if you're a random, we met through Instagram, Facebook.
Exactly.
That is how I'm gonna treat it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why you're gonna be in this business a long time, bro. Like, I see your drive, I see that your intent, where your intentions are, and that, and honestly, like, I wish there was more realtors like us in the industry. Not everybody treats this industry like a relationship business, or treats this business like a career. You know what I mean? Some people treat this like a fly-by business. I'm just gonna jump in this industry, make a couple $100,000, and
then leave and go on to their next venture.
it's like, no, for me, it's like, I want to hopefully retire from this industry one day. I want to hopefully leave a book of business to somebody. Hopefully, if I ever have children, they may want to take the reins one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I really want to be able to, you know, for me, I'm privileged and honored to be able to be a part of my client's journey. You know, if I'm able to help them achieve their goal, for me, that's everything. Like, at the end of the day, the money comes and goes. But for me, it's like, be able to be part of the journey and help them achieve what they want to achieve. The smiles and the thank yous, and sometimes the bottles of tequila are all worth it, bro. Yeah, like, that's all for me. It's like, it's like just that feeling, like that fuzzy feeling that you get, like we made this happen, and now, you know, I get to hand the keys off to them, or now they get to walk away from this home to then achieve their next goal and retire.
An accomplishment.
It very much,
on both ends, on my end and my buyer's end, or seller's end, whoever I'm representing at the time. It truly is an accomplishment, because at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's a life milestone.
Yes.
You know? So
for sure, bro.
I'm always grateful to be a part of that. I'm sure you are. I know you.
100%.
You take your clients, or take care of your clients 100%. So
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we joined the business for. You know.
Exactly, man. I'm just like, for me, it's like, it's just great to be sitting across from someone like you, who also really sees the value,
the career.
Exactly, the value of this career, and to take it seriously ultimately. But at the end of the day, to just really have that care for your client, you know what I mean? That speaks volumes of you, bro. And that's why, you know, I've always treated this business that way too. And I've always said, like, you know, I'm in this for the long run, bro. Like, for me, it's like, I'm not going to come just walk in and be a realtor for a few years. I'm in this for the long run. You know, I know I'm going to be retired one day, chilling on the beach, and I'm still going to be getting calls.
Still getting calls, yeah.
But that's just the way it is, man. And that, I mean, I hope that that's the way it stays, because for me, that's the biggest compliment I can ever receive, is when I get a call. Like, hey, bro, my cousin's buying a house, and I already told him he's working with you. Or, hey, bro, like, you know, we've been at our house for a few years. It's time for us to sell. We want to sell our house. We want to buy something else. And we want to work with you again. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, that's all I can ever expect. You know, that's all I can ever expect. You know, I love taking on new clients. But a lot of the time I'm very fortunate to have clients that really trust me and believe in me, that they're even after they've closed it, they're still thinking about me to even refer me.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for that.
Like I say, it's a compliment, but in my eyes, it's more than a compliment, because it's like, dude, you're pouring your financial investments and your trust into me, and that's huge. It is huge. You know, we're going to pave the path for your family together, and then we're going to make it happen. You know, we're going to negotiate the best deal that we possibly can, and just make sure that you're comfortable going forward in this house, and that it was a good fit for you overall.
No, 100%. I agree to the fullest, and bro, I appreciate you, bro.
No,
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, man. And you know, I also honestly just want to leave these last few minutes of the show to just let you plug yourself. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody has to work with me. Not everybody has to work with you. Everybody has their own preference. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you're not hitting Mia or my team up, hit up Jose. He's an amazing realtor. You guys are not going to go wrong. And, you know, I just want to be able to give you a platform to introduce you, bro, share a little tequila with you. And, you know, it was an honor to be here and talk business with you, bro.
It was an honor on my end to even pop up, like I said, have this good conversation. I'm pretty sure we're going to turn the camera off and even have a better conversation, you know?
Yeah, we had a good conversation before the cameras were on.
Exactly. You know, but
for real, yeah.
At the end of the day, it was a huge honor. I do want to go back a little bit. And
sure, go for it, bro.
You had mentioned, was I scared? And just a bit about my business.
Yeah, man, go for it.
I want to go ahead and give advice to anyone that wants.
I was just going to ask you. Perfect, bro. That's a perfect plug. Perfect plug right there.
So, for one, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Don't be shy to create content. Don't be shy to make those connections. At the end of the day, your network is going to be your net worth. Exactly. You want to go ahead and start letting people know that you're serious about this industry. You want to start interviewing teams to see what they offer. You want to start interviewing lenders to see what they offer, how many deals they close, how they treat their clients. Yep. At the end of the day, 100%. All that stuff is going to affect your business. It's going to affect how you're able to scale your business. So that would be my biggest recommendation. Like, yeah, you have to study to take the course, but meanwhile you're studying, make sure you build your network. Because at the end of the day, it's what makes or breaks your business.
I agree 100%. Like a lot of the agents that come to me even before they get licensed, they're like, "Hey man, we want to work with you. I want to be a part of your team." And I'm like, you know, I'm happy to have you part of my team, but you know, for me, it's like it's important to understand who they are. Like, I like to bring on people on my team who are, you know, just go-getters. I don't want to bring people on with any drama. There's a no drama zone at my team at Alvarez and Associates. For us, it's all about, we want to work hard, we want to help families. At the end, we want to be collaborative. We want to, you know, have a good camaraderie. For us, it's all about that. Just being able to have a collaborative space that we all can, you know, be able to kind of feed off one another. But at the end of the day, you know, when you're a brand new agent, you're looking to see who's going to give you the best split. I think that's the worst decision you can make.
Exactly.
Because even when I came on, like, I didn't have the best split, but I learned so much valuable information in the beginning that paid dividends for me now. Yeah. And if I would have just went to the broker who was going to let me get 90% and there's going to be no support, no help, no nothing, no mentorship, like, yeah, I would have made more money, but I don't think I would be at where I'm at today.
There would have been more money left on the table because of the lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge, the lack of support, and also the lack of confidence. Like, you know, for me, it's like, I've always been a confident guy. I was never really shy too much, you know, but to get on the camera was fucking scary.
It's a game changer for everybody.
It's scary. And I started doing just short 10-second Snapchat clips on my phone every day just to get prepared, just to be able to like write a script and put a smile on and say what I wanted to say. And then I started looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I'm not that dude. Like, I'm not him. Like, I'm not fake. I don't wear suit and ties all the time. I like to wear my baseball cap. I like to rock my sneakers. I like to rock my earrings. I like to be who I am. And so, like, in the beginning, I was really trying to change that persona, and people saw that really fast. And I had a few of my buddies who were realtors in LA who were fraternity brothers of mine. They're like, who the fuck is this guy? And they're like, bro, just be yourself. You know, you don't have to work with everybody. You know, you're going to work with people who want to work with you. Just be yourself. Do what you got to do. Don't try to please the crowd. You're going to be fine. And then it hit me where I'm like, who the fuck are you? But then I like took a step back. I'm like, wait, they're completely right. There's no reason why I should be wanting to work with everybody, because not everybody's want to work with me. But if I could appeal to a certain crowd, if a certain crowd likes me, I'm going to be fine because I'm going to be able to appeal to that crowd. That crowd essentially is going to be wanting to know more about me, wanting to work with me. And that's all I could do. You know what I mean? That's all I could do is be myself and try to work with the people who want to work with me. So that's where I was like, man, like I got to just be who I am. I got to put content out so people know me. And it's real estate and social media is a game changer. As long as you're doing it right and you're being consistent at it, people know you.
Your business will
Your business
scale.
is going to scale.
Community buzz will start to grow without a doubt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But exactly.
With that said, man, when it comes to social media, consistency is key. And I feel like that's where I struggled the first 3 years, even to this day. You know, sometimes I get out of bed, I'm like, oh my God, today I'm in front of the camera.
Yeah, and then I got
100 clips.
yeah. That's what happens.
But
it's totally worth the investment, and it's worth the time because you can always repurpose that content, you know, and that lives on forever. You know what I mean? And that's how people really get an insight to who you are. And I always say be 100% authentic, because if I was still my fake self, like pulling up in a suit every day, suit and tie, like, hey, this is Ricky J. Alvarez, people be like, who the fuck? Like,
you know what's crazy, man? When I first started real estate, well, I did understand. Well, let me restart that. I didn't fully understand.
Yeah.
I started off with a brokerage that was offering me a great cut. Mm-hmm. And while they were really good people with as far as their personality and they had my best interest, they were too busy. The team wasn't big enough to be able to offer the support that I felt I needed as a new agent. You know, on their end, you know, you're talking real estate every single day. Yeah. So it's like it's a first language for you. You know,
for real.
For me, it's like, oh, dude, what is escrow, earnest money deposit? You know.
Yeah. It's a little foreign in the beginning.
So I left that brokerage. They were offering me a 90% split at first. You know, I take 90%. They take 10% for the brokerage, which is an amazing. You know, most brokers don't offer that nowadays. Mm-hmm. But I went over to another team that was taking 50%. It was a 50-50. And then on top of that, most of the leads are coming from Zillow. So you to get that 30%. My checks were coming out really small. But I knew that their support and the training programs that they had was extremely valuable. And then I had someone sitting next to me to be able to write the contracts with me. So that support system goes a huge way with setting the tone on which direction your path is going to go.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah, so
100% agree. So yeah, like what you touched on earlier, like if you're going to be a new agent in this industry, like go out and find the right fit for yourself. Don't settle, because everyone's different. Some people need more support on understanding contracts. Some people need more support on how to build their book of business. Some people already know how to do those things, and some people just might need the support and the guidance or the mentorship. Everyone's different. So I say go out and look for what you're looking for. And don't settle until you find it. Don't just take the fancy commission split, because again,
you're leaving money on the table with a lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
With that said, you guys, don't be scared to interview your broker, to ask the hard questions, or just to be blunt, a people pleaser 24/7. You know, you don't want to go in there and just smile at these guys 24/7 because they're your managing broker. You know, at the end of the day, get into the nitty gritty. Ask them if they're able to supply what you specifically need to scale your business, and that's going to set the tone for you. I wish I would have did that sooner than later with my business. I mean, at the end of the day, I met a lot of great people, have a lot of great relationships.
Yep.
So I'm not downplaying anybody. But at the end of the day, everyone's business is different and requires different things. So make sure you find what your business requires, whether it's social media, if you're going to be cold calling, if you're going to be whatever it is, you know, you're just relying on your network to be able to filter leads to you, then your brokerage can supply that. That'd be my biggest piece of advice.
I think that's extremely valuable, and I think it's extremely important, you know, as a new agent, to really kind of take the time and effort to be able to go through those situations, because you don't want to settle at the beginning. Like, you definitely want to be a little bit more picky, because you want to set yourself up for success. You want to set that foundation in the beginning, and then as you continue to grow, then you're going to really find out what like the next needs are in your business, and that's where you can then take the next steps to find out, like, am I going to go independent? Am I going to go am I going to create my own team? Am I going to go to another brokerage that's going to be able to give me X, Y, and Z? Like, you be more selective, you know? But I think that's extremely valuable, brother. So appreciate you jumping on. Appreciate you sharing the knowledge.
Of course, you got them.
Let everyone know how to find you. I know you got IG, you got all the platforms, so let them know how to find you, how to get hold of you.
RealtorJ.Mendoza for my Instagram and just Jose Mendoza for my Facebook. You guys will be able to find me.
All right, man. Well, with that being said, episode 44 of Tequila Transactions, we got some amazing tequila. We had a little bit of some sweet with a little bit of not so sweet, but they were both amazing. This one you can find at any stores, y'all. This one you guys got to call me and call in a special favor to get. But this one is an amazing tequila brought by Jose, and it didn't treat us wrong. Lote Maestro. Go try it if you like añejos for sure. And hit Jose up, me up for all your real estate needs, and we'd love to help you guys achieve your goals. So appreciate you guys so much. Peace.
With that said, we'll talk in a bit.